You're either built to survive or you don't last long in the Chihuahuan Desert. On my way to Dust Ups, I stopped at a viewer's place to pick up honey locust trees. Fast growers with roots that grow far and wide. On that same trip, I met up with Chris in Odessa and brought him out to the Dust Ups ranch. He started honey mesquite from seed, a tree that sends its roots really deep, looking for water far underground. Two species, both called honey, planted side by side on the same irrigation system in the same soil. Which rooting strategy is going to win? Far and wide or super deep? Or is there room for both types of honey trees? First up is the honey locust. On the ranch in Santo, it spreads its roots far and wide looking for water and all its nutrients fairly close to the surface. It wants to grab the water as soon as it's available before the soil dries out. It's a race, and that shallow spread makes it a sprinter. When conditions are right, it can claim ground very fast, but when the moisture stops, so does the growth. Honey locust is very drought hardy, but its ideal environment would be a bottomland. Out here in the Chihuahuan Desert, obviously that strategy would be pushed to its limits. The question is, will speed and reach be enough to gather the limited moisture that we have in the desert? And now for the challenger, honey mesquite. It's a relatively quick grower, but it's certainly not pushing the limits. Although you see modest growth above the surface, what the plant's really doing is underground. It's getting its taproot to dive as deep and as fast as possible, searching for underground water. That taproot can reach 30 feet underground, sometimes 50 feet. I believe the record for honey mesquite is 150 feet. Underground, searching for water. Why is that number so interesting for me? Because I believe the distance between the surface and the bedrock is 30 feet. If the mesquite is able to hang on long enough to establish itself, that taproot has a realistic chance of finding water in perched aquifers. Of course, assuming there is one. You can't really know, you gotta read it from the vegetation, and on the clay deposits where I'm planting, no mesquite can get a foothold in the first place. My bet is that by nurturing it just enough, it'll be able to send that taproot deep enough to bio-drill through the clay, get that permanently hydrated, and assuming it makes it to the bedrock that I believe is there, make it for the long haul. Because drinking water from very deep underground means that the tree doesn't really care whether it rains tomorrow or not. And that is what makes mesquite a true desert tree. It's kind of an odd strategy because by digging as deep as fast as possible, what it's hoping to find is steady, smooth consistency. It's racing to hurry up and have a boring existence, water every day. One of my favorite things about these side trips is that it takes me to parts of Texas that I would never have any reason to visit. So I think I'll get in trouble for saying this, but I think your views are better than anything I've seen in the hill country.
Really?
I think so.
Thank you.
That drive coming in from Santa was amazing.
Yeah.
Coming down that hill,
It's
just
stunning. I assume everything green I see is honey locust.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not joking about it's thriving.
So this is a mesquite, but the honey locust.
Honey locust is going to get mowed, so whatever you would like is all yours.
Right. That one right there seems like a good candidate. They're gorgeous as long as they can survive the cattle munching on them when they're little, so they don't get all shrubby. When they grow up like that, they're so pretty. I don't know if I'm gonna get this one out. Not intact. I think that's probably gonna start. It's probably enough.
They're coming up nice.
Yeah, As long as you don't get too ambitious about the ones you pick.
Right.
I gotta just leave the dirt on there,
Yep.
because it'll,
Protect it.
yeah, it'll help keep some of the moisture on it. We'll put it just in that open tote. Can you open one?
Here's you a wild turkey
Feather.
feather.
My kids will like that.
There's a peahen running with the wild turkeys, and she has started coming into my chicken yard and hanging out with
That's awesome.
the turkeys there. It's fun.
I have to ask, what is a peahen?
A female peacock.
Okay. Running wild?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, with the turkeys. And she looks just like a turkey, except for she had these crazy feathers on the top of her head. And wait.
And the coloring is different, of course.
Yeah.
It's not as brilliant as the males. So it's a lot more muted.
I'm waiting for the day when like there's a wild tiger in Texas or something that just escapes.
Well, I think that's happened.
Has it?
Yes.
I don't think it comes across on camera, but I spent 3 hours visiting with Nancy and Neil, and this is one of the most unexpected parts of having the YouTube channel, is just being able to meet really nice people in places that I'd never get to go. And it reminds me a lot of when I was younger and traveling, and I lived in Yemen and traveled across East Africa and all over the Middle East. And there's something really special about sitting with people that you don't have any connection with other than sharing the values of dust ups and getting to talk for a few hours, and then sharing something together. Like, even if these trees don't grow, I made a connection, and for me that's a win. Out here, sharing a cup or a meal together is one of the best ways to build community. Daniel had never tried mud water, and Blaze, who's out here volunteering, hadn't tried it either. So I made a solid cup and turned it into a way for us all just to spend time socializing together in the morning. I started drinking mud water because I love coffee, but I can only handle a cup a day. If I go on to a second cup, it is too much. I get the jitters, and I definitely get a caffeine crash. That's where mud water comes in. It only has 35 milligrams of caffeine, and if you compare that to a cup of coffee, which is closer to 90 or 100, it's a much more gentle push. It gives me the right boost without the crash and without impacting my sleep. The flavor is kind of like a spicy chai hot chocolate.
I kid you not, like my favorite hot cocoa is abuelitas.
And for me, that makes it something that I'm looking forward to. It's made with organic cacao, masala chai, and functional mushrooms. Lion's mane for focus, cordyceps for natural energy, and reishi and chaga for immunity. Use the link in the description or scan the QR code that you see on the screen to get the Mud Water Starter Kit. You get 15% off your first order, and it comes with the free frother. And the frother is awesome. I didn't know I needed this in my life, but anytime I mix stuff, not even just mud water, it's a nice little tool to have in the kitchen. And I highly recommend it for your mud water. Thank you for supporting my sponsors, because without them, this desert forest is not happening. Not Blaze the volunteer, not Daniel the full-time employee, and certainly not the heavy equipment that it takes to make a desert forest. If you are at all interested in supporting your energy throughout the day without the kick of coffee, please consider Mudwater. I have a happy problem, but it's a problem. Chris brought me trees that are so large that we need to get about 3 feet down. And if we dig that manually, which we can, it's going to take all day. We were going to use an auger, but the auger is not starting, which means I need to use the mini excavator. And I think this is a good opportunity to show you guys the current state of the project, and I need to find a spot where I can use the mini excavator without ruining things. So let's take a walk and see if we can find the right opportunity. If there's nothing growing on this stuff, we'll just put the mini excavator right here. And you wanted to see the tires. They're right here. So we'll see if anything survived. There was a mesquite here last time, but it might have drowned. Yeah, everything drowned because there's way too much hydrogel in here. Oh, hey. So we have a jujube that has made it. Survived the excess moisture. So I'll keep that one covered. I think that's the only thing that's survived from the tires. There's just way too much water in here. I've seen stuff germinate like crazy and then die. So I'll just keep it like that. Also, there's irrigation here, and most of this desert willow is not gonna make it. I'll scratch the bark and see if there's anything green. But if this is dead, there's irrigation line here, so that'd be a great spot to put the mesquite. I mean, there is a little bit of stuff coming up here. but very, very sparse. We've had a lot of rain. If it was gonna take off, it should have taken off. Okay, so this one is dead, 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 dead. It's all dead. We'll dig this out and we'll just move this irrigation line out of the way and we'll see how many mesquite we can get going right here.
Yeah.
So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll put 2 mesquite and a honey locust right on around each emitter and just try to give them the best shot. And I've also got a bunch of seeds, so I'll try to grow there. And then we've got all the hay, so we'll mulch it real well.
Were these like transplants or were these cuttings?
These were cuttings.
Oh, cuttings.
Yeah, this was just like, let's stick them in the ground and see if we get lucky.
Yeah.
And they clearly need to sit in water for weeks.
Yeah.
So this would probably be the perfect stretch here, just like where there's absolutely nothing. Something didn't go right, so we'll just move this, use the mini, clear up the bare spots. Oh, we've got all this agave here, but I think the mesquite's going to be more valuable to add.
But do you really need to get rid of the agave to put the mesquite?
Some of it, yeah. We'll pick the ones that are dead. We'll just have to dig extremely carefully. There's nothing growing here, so this is the spot to put all the mesquite. Let's just yank all these sticks out and put them on the mulch rows. Let's start with that and see how we do. I wanted to go too deep rather than too shallow. You know, it doesn't take too long. I only have maybe 20 hours on the mini excavator. And I know you're supposed to have the blade behind you, but sometimes it seems to be easier with the blade in front. Actually, I get it backwards. I can never remember where it's supposed to be. You could convince me either way. It wouldn't take much. Let's do the desert willow first, since it's so heavy. And we'll just do that in the first hole. Let's walk up here. There we go. I think that depth is just about right, too.
Yeah.
We'll add hydrogel, worm castings, and
This has already got charcoal.
a little bit, but I can see from the color, like it's not exactly in the right spots, even though I could see I was digging moisture. So the biochar is the blue barrel over there. I'll go grab that real fast. And just tilt it forward. Yeah. Okay. And then, yeah, if you want to just get the big rocks out.
Yeah, that probably worked better than the auger.
Yeah. For sure, especially for that willow. I don't think we would have got it in with the auger. So, you know, mixed blessing. Shovel of water.
Is it wiggling at all?
A little bit, yeah. Okay, we're losing the root ball now. All right, I got it. It is low, which is fine. We'll make it like a depressed cone. Okay, and then I think we'll save some of this for the mesquite. Let's get the leaves off.
Can you pull all of them?
Yeah, to the extent you can.
And is this so it focuses its energy on the roots?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not even about energy. It's because it loses almost all of its water through the leaves.
The leaves? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so you're taking away its ability to give away
Yeah.
its water.
Gotcha.
Let's get the mesquite. And I think, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Let's just like double down on the mesquite, and we'll put like 5 or 6 in each spot and just make sure one of them survives.
Yeah.
And I'd rather do that, and that way we get more value out of the water.
That works.
Another scoop of char. I guess since this is our first mesquite, I should make sure that the depth is right before I do the others. What might be the safest way to do it is if we tilt it mostly on its side and roll it,
Yeah.
just so the soil stops sticking to the side.
Just set it in there?
Yeah. But actually, let me, these are probably the only ones we want to pull out, because I really don't want to, this is still a taproot. All right, and then let's put that entire root ball in, and that way we hedge our bets a little bit. We're gonna have to add quite a bit of topsoil in parts like this. You can see where the crown is lost. I think this one will be okay just because it's got the main root ball. But at least the soil's got some moisture in it.
Oh, there's a little camel spider.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, let me go get the honey locust. This one will be way easier to, we'll just put 2 or 3 in this spot.
Okay. One of them has to survive at least.
I hope. And then we got to hurry and get these loose ones in the ground as quick as we can. I am falling down.
Can take off some of this.
No, actually I want to leave it because it's got all the moisture in it.
Oh, okay.
And then let's get the mesquite buried in. Wow, look how deep that is.
Yeah, that's just as tall as it.
So for context on camera, the taproot is down here and my hand is right here. So the taproot's as deep as it, and that's why I'm gonna bury this sort of sideways because it's not deep enough. And then it'll be really important that I fill this part up pretty deeply, just so those taproots aren't temperature exposed. And we'll do the next 2, I guess, on, let me go grab another honey locust. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do one more. That stuff will probably be extra good because it's all liquid clay.
Yeah.
Just throw it on top of the hay and eventually it'll wash down into the soil. The last thing we have to do is just the irrigation line so we can run it tonight. But it looks like we did it right.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you, sir. Chris has been a fantastic resource for me at Dust Ups. The first time he came out was in the winter of last year when it was bitterly cold, and then he managed to come out in peak summer in July. And because we did have to come in to hide from the heat in the middle of the day, I made sure to come with a Pecos cantaloupe. And if you've never had one, they are God's gift to cantaloupes. It was nice to share that together, and before we get to how the trees fared, you can stay up to date on everything. Trees, swales, rain events, the nursery, all the things in Team Dust Ups. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description. It is now 1 month later, and I want to give you guys an update. It's a mix of good news and bad news. Good news, all the trees in pots that came in pots are doing well. This is the desert willow that Chris brought in a very large pot from Odessa, and it's thriving. But the honey locust I planted right next to it, it died. Same water, same everything. You can see I intentionally designed the emitters to go right towards this cutting, and it didn't make it. And then all these spots with primarily honey locust, they have nothing growing here, which will soon be an opportunity. And some of the mesquites that I had to pull out individually and tried to plant here and here, they died. It was too much root disturbance. But you can see here where we had the mega pot, and I couldn't exactly control the placement very well. We have very strong survivors. So a lot of them died off because they're too far from the emitters, but they're fighting, and we have some that are doing significantly better than others. And then this is a dead spot where I tried to put honey locust, and then the honey mesquite, I tried to pull off little individual growth, and it didn't work. Too much root disturbance. And then this, where I just put the big pot. I mean, look how thick that stem is. It's doing outstanding. So all in all, it's generally good news. It's a mixed bag, but at least the stuff that Chris put the work into harvesting is what paid off. I think the honey locust was worth a try, but because I didn't expect it to work anyway, and I did give it a good shot, it got the exact same treatment as the mesquite, there's no reason to repeat that experiment. But I'm excited. I finally have mesquite growing here. It's one of the things that I really wanted to have on this ranch. So delighted to have it. I can't wait to expand the area and get more going.